Welcome to another edition of the Basketball Teacher Podcast. Our mission is to bring you discussions on a wide array of topics in the coaching world to grow players on and off the court. You can connect with us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, and also reach us directly through email at basketballteacherpodcast@gmail.com. Now, here's your host, Coach Mike Hernandez.
Hey guys, welcome back here to episode 2. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are enjoying your summer, enjoying your July, whatever it is that you guys are doing, whether you're coaching, whether you're relaxing. Hopefully, you're staying safe, enjoying yourself. And I'm here with another coaching moment from my career that hopefully you guys can learn from. And this one is a recent memory. This one happened just this past year, technically, but it was the accumulation of a few years. And this was a lesson that I think is going to definitely stick with me for the rest of my coaching career. So, we had a player who just graduated, a senior point guard, who was with our program for all 4 years. Had that stoppage in the middle because of COVID, because we didn't have a regular season during COVID, but you get the point. Was with the program for all 4 years. This girl, her name is Annalie Kota. You can actually look at her name and face, I believe, on the Phoenix Union website if you go check it out right now. She was the definition of a student athlete. This was a girl who did so much outside of basketball. She was involved in so many different things. I wrote a letter recommendation for her a few times, and her list of things she was involved with and that she did was really numerous. And because of that, she sometimes struggled finding basketball and the place basketball had in her life with all of these other things that she was involved in and all these other things that she was doing. And because she was our point guard in the making when she was younger and then eventually became our point guard, this sometimes created a little bit of difficulty because her availability was sometimes pretty limited. And she would be involved in things involving like student government. She would be involved in things like volunteer work. She would have like these trips that she would go on, or on top of all that, she was taking a real rigorous course load. This was a girl who was taking, AP classes. This was somebody who was involved in academic programs in the off season, specifically to get college credit, or some of you may know it as like dual enrollment type classes. So this was a girl that was heavily involved with academic rigor, and then also a bunch of stuff outside of class as well. And I know that one of the difficulties, one of the things that we kind of struggled with sometimes was her availability, like I said, and we would have some tournaments that maybe she couldn't always go to, or be in situations where she had to maybe sometimes leave practice a little bit early, or things would come up where she would be forced to kind of choose one thing or the other. And it created some stress sometimes on her, and sometimes a little bit with the coaching staff as well, where she was trying to balance both of these things. And of course, as we know as coaches, we have our program as our like top priority, and we want our girls and our guys there every single day that they're able to be there. We want them every single day that we have practice, or every single day that we have a game. And this became something that we had to really have a serious conversation on. And we had to, sit down and talk with her and figure out the place that basketball had in her life in relation to all of these other things that she had going on. And some of those conversations were a little bit tough, right? There was going to be times when maybe she didn't get to play as much, or some opportunities on the court weren't going to be there for her because other girls were there more consistently. And after the summer, this past summer, so after the summer of her junior year, going into her senior year, she really made a shift, I felt, and really wanted to go kind of all out on her senior year. And this girl, she was probably working herself to the bone, but she made every single effort possible to come to everything that she possibly could. I remember there was a tournament that we were in, and we played a game, and she was in it. And a few hours before our next game, she was in like a Microsoft Teams call doing some sort of tutoring and study group session for something that she was in. And I think she was even leading it too, which shows you the level of leadership that this girl had. And she would be, doing homework on the bus. She would be working on, applications for things or trying to put things together. I felt like every minute of her day was occupied with something that she was trying to do. But she made the effort to get basketball in there. And I think that that really was something that she is really going to take from her high school experience when she left, is that all of those academic things, obviously fantastic, and I'll talk about those accomplishments she had in a second, and all of the things that she was doing in school and all the things that she was involved in. But I think that her high school experience was definitely complete by sticking with basketball and making sure that it was something that she got involved in as a physical release and as something that she could really just kind of let loose and kind of have a lot of fun with, and like I said, kind of expound some energy on. And we were really grateful that she stuck with it. She was an all region player her junior year, and she also got it her senior year, which was fantastic. And I just got the news a couple months ago. I actually found out about it on social media, of all things, believe it or not, that this girl, Anna Lee, she received in total $4.5 million worth of scholarships towards college. And she chose a small liberal arts school out in the Northeast. The name slips my mind right now, but she has a completely full ride there, and she's starting there in the fall. And it was just such an incredible reminder to me about that term student athlete. And as coaches, we always have to make sure that we kind of step back and look at the big picture of what we're trying to get our players to be doing and what we want the future for our players to be. And I know that for her, basketball was something that she gave everything she could to when she was in high school. But at the end of the day, that's where her career was going to end. She might play a little bit recreationally in college, but it was that thing she did to get her physical release. Her priorities were elsewhere in terms of what she wanted. Maybe if she really wanted to, she could have dedicated a whole bunch of time and looked at, going collegiately and things like that. But that wasn't what her future was. That wasn't what her plans were. And as coaches, we have to be okay with that. And we have to nurture our players, know what their goals are, know what they want out of the game of basketball, and make sure that they're getting the absolute most out of it. And if their career ends right after high school, but they've still put themselves on track to be successful afterwards, I think there's nothing more we could ask as coaches than that. And so just to hear that total, $4.5 million worth of scholarships, really just put it into focus, I think. Really put it into full perspective that we, especially at the high school level, obviously, if you're at college, you're a little bit different. But at the high school level, especially, right? Student athletes really making sure school comes first. And honestly, even at the college level, that's what you should be doing, obviously, as well. But specifically at the high school level, because so many of our players are going to be done playing after high school. Get to know your players, coaches, know what they want out of basketball, know where their dreams and their passions are going to be taking them beyond high school, and celebrate their success. It was really cool to see a lot of our girls actually go to her high school graduation. She actually went to a different high school, not the one that I coach at. She went to a small high school within the district that didn't have an athletics program. So they had a separate graduation, but our players attended that and celebrated her. And what a wonderful career she had for us. So coaches, take the time, talk to your players, ask them what they're doing in the future, ask them what their plans are, go champion them, go celebrate them, go encourage them, be that beacon of light for them to push them forward. And just remember that we have student athletes. Make sure that we're celebrating the student part just as much as the athletic part. Enjoy your day, enjoy your week, coaches. I'll see you guys next week.
Thank you for listening to another edition of the Basketball Teacher Podcast. Make sure to connect with us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, or reach us directly through email at basketballteacherpodcast@gmail.com. Take care, be safe, and we'll see you next time.